Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me. So it is an interesting time that we live in, isn't it? And tell me, how do you guys like the channel art that I created for today? So I was really just inspired, or the thought or the feeling or the message that came through for me while I was creating that channel art for today's video with it's like that old idea of the little devil and the little angel on your shoulder. But of course, that's not what it is. It's your ego and your higher self, and you're in the middle. And it's really just about finding that balance and working with all those different parts of yourself, isn't it? Um, so yeah, that's kind of the feeling that I'm feeling right now. The atmosphere is really just everybody trying to find their flow, their balance, and aligning with themselves. Welcome everybody. Welcome, Kate. Welcome, Maria. Welcome, Cherise. Looks like we have some new people, and looking forward to channeling for you. As always, my husband Anthony is here.
Hey everyone.
He will read the questions for me while I channel, so that I can stay in trance. And he's just going to disappear and be off camera. You'll just hear his voice. Okay, he's not keen on the camera. Okay, and for those of you that don't know much about me, I am Michelle Sipker. I'm a psychic channel, and I'm a light worker. I channel beings of love and light. And in the first part of the segment, I answer personal questions, and you can choose who you'd like me to channel. So if you've typed 3 pink hearts, so we already have our 3 for today, then we will answer your personal questions for you and let you decide who you want to channel. And I think you've all have your questions and everything already, so it's all good. Hi, Wasima. Thank you, my darling. And then after we've done the personal questions, we'll move over and start asking questions for the human consciousness, for humanity. You know, any questions you have for us currently, where we are as the human race, our position in the multiverse, whatever you want to ask, whatever questions, we will choose those questions according to what we feel is most appropriate. Anthony just usually uses his intuition or follows his excitement, I guess. You know, um, and that's all good. We usually learn. All of us usually learn a lot from those questions as well. But yes, if you don't think that the personal questions don't have wisdom for everybody, they certainly do. We all learn from each other, and we all mirror each other in different ways. And this is one of those ways in which we can learn about ourselves. So, and that's where it starts. It starts with ourselves. All right. So, yeah. Okay. Oh, yes. Admin stuff. I always forget about the admin stuff. I'm too excited to start channeling. Okay. So if you're interested in private channeling sessions with me or coaching, mentoring, channeled art, art readings, healing, I do channeled healing as well. I've got a healing team that works with me. So if you're interested in any of that, and also soon to come will be art classes. So I will be adding that to the list, having art classes once a week for adults, and we will focus on the sort of spiritual aspect of it as well a little bit. But my aim is really to help each individual. It won't be regular art classes where we're just learning to shade and whatever. I help you with what you want to create, basically. We're in a group setting, but you bring what you want to create, and we work on that, and I teach you through your projects. So that's pretty much what I'll do there, and I'll start doing art classes for children as well soon. That will not be spiritual or anything. That will just similar approach to letting them work on what excites them. But we won't focus much on spirituality. We'll just focus on being and having fun and following our excitement. And yes, this past week I haven't been very busy on YouTube except for the Manana channeling because I was doing a holiday workshop with children. We were doing some art workshop for the holidays, just so I could also spend some time with my daughter. And this is fun. We don't have to be just one thing. We can be and do what we feel we need to do. And last week it felt like I needed to be with my little girl. And so yeah, I made the best of that situation. And she had some friends as well, so she enjoyed that very much. Yeah, and if you're interested in my services or any of those things, the link is down below to my website. Also, if this was of value for you and you'd like to make a donation or contribution, there is a PayPal link below. But yeah, I don't do it for that. I do it because I want to really help and uplift the human consciousness and help us to get to a place so we can end the suffering and just really live our best, most joyful lives. Okay, without further ado, I think we're ready to start channeling. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, I've got a bit of a cold. So if I'm a bit slower than usual, please excuse me. But I want to make sure that I'm authentic and give proper answers. So I will probably just be spending a little bit more time listening and, making sure that I'm in the right space, if that makes sense. Okay, so first up is Maria.
Yes.
All right.
Great-grandma.
Great-grandma. I like Maria's great-grandma. She's awesome. Doesn't take nonsense. It's very loving and wise. I welcome the highest beings that are here holding space for me and space for us all. We are forming a circle and co-creating, and it is just the distance, the airwaves, the timelines, none of it makes a difference right now. We are all here together creating. So thank you for those guardians, those angels that are holding space and raising frequencies, helping to raise frequencies. And thank you to all the higher selves that are present here right now. You're all welcome. And I ask that you bring your highest minds, highest, purest energy. Thank you. And welcome to all the guides, extraterrestrials, ascended masters, all the beings of love and light who would like to contribute and add tonight. And again, just the highest, purest minds, highest, purest frequencies, highest agenda for the best of all. If that's not your intention, if that's not why you're here, leave now. We only want what's for the highest good of everybody. Thank you. All right. Hello, everyone again.
Hello.
Hello, Maria. Hi, everybody.
Hello. Maria's got a few questions for you. Okay, so she says, what am I supposed to do with my life right now, except for self-care? What else is there in store for this period of time? Because I feel like I'm relaxing a bit too much.
This is a good time to write down your dreams. All the things that you don't think of as possibilities. All your pipe dreams, as people like to say. But don't think of them as pipe dreams. Think of them as dreams, as imagining, as playing. So now is a time to start playing, activating play. And the play we're talking about here is the play of creation. Really writing down all those dreams, all the things that you would like to, that you imagined as a little girl you would do. all the things that you have along the way dismissed and said, oh, that does not fit into this world. I can't do that. That's not for me. It's time for you to write those things down. Do not get attached to outcomes. Do not think about, oh, that's not possible. Do not think about how. Just write down all of your dreams. And then if it feels good, start adding some meat to that. And what I mean by that is draw some diagrams, make some pictures, do start making plans as if it's going to happen. Do a bit of planning, and just as a what if this is possible? What if I can make this happen? So even though you would like clear direction for the future and you'd like your whole path mapped out, this is not the way to live a joyous, happy life. This is not the way to live in flow. So if you're going to, so all of those strategies and plans that people are spending so much time on, they can change. And usually it is best practice to change when you need to change. It's good to have a goal and to have an idea, and it's good to make plans. But it's also good to dream and to play and to say, well, what if this is possible? Like, what could I do? What would the next step be? And that's the thing. It's about the next step. Just the next one. It's not about having your whole future planned. That's not realistic. It's about the next step. What is the next best step? And the next best step for you is to play and to dream and to really, really allow yourself to make space for that. And not to squish down your dreams and ideas, not to squish down your hopes. And it's also a really good time for you to do a bit of shadow work. Okay. And of course, compassion key sessions are very much targeted at doing that in a very permanent and effective way. But there are things that you can work on by yourself as well. And those things are the things that you need to write down. And those things are the things that you need to write songs about, create music, and just play around with it. Don't be so serious about it. That's the thing. Just play, create, make whatever you want to make. Use this time to have fun with your creativity. So that is honestly the best thing I can tell you right now, is to learn to have fun. Not just watching other people do things, but taking action and doing some things yourself. Not with the purpose of, where am I going to post this, or who am I going to play this for, or whatever. Just make it for you. Do it for yourself. And just enjoy the process. Just play, have fun. Don't worry about messing up. Don't worry about perfect. Just have fun. That is the brief. That is all you have to concern yourself with right now, is to remember how to play. Let me know if you need clarification.
Just got a follow-up question.
Yes.
So does that mean going on YouTube and learning about music production?
Well, that is one way in which you can play. Yes, absolutely. Go wherever the excitement leads you. If this is where the excitement is leading you right now, go for it. That's exactly right. Follow your intuition. See, you already knew what you need to do. But be like a child. Allow yourself to explore and to just have fun with it.
She's asking, can you give me a clear definition about having fun? Like, what does that mean?
It means it makes you happy. It means doing those activities that make you excited. Like creating that piece of music that you think is fun, and you might even laugh at it, or you might even because it's just funny, or it's just fun, or just you like the sound of it and you don't care if it doesn't fit into any genre, or if nobody else likes it. It was fun to create and you enjoyed doing it, and it made your heart, it was like joy, and like watching a movie, but it's so much better because you're not watching someone else. You're living it. You're experiencing it. So just being fully engaged in the activities and playing and creating. That is what having fun is. Like a child who decides, oh, I'm going to play Lego now, and they start building, and they might have an idea initially, but that idea might change like 10 times while they're busy building their little Lego build. But eventually what they created was a whole big thing. That wasn't their plan. They just enjoyed it, and it just carried on from their enjoyment. So it's not about looking at what's the bigger picture of what I'm going to create. It's ooh, that looks like fun. Let's try that. And then have fun. Don't worry about what its purpose is or what the outcome is. Just enjoy it. Does that make sense?
I'm just going to give a half a minute to see if we get any response.
You know, games were invented for a reason, but the original games were not digital. The original games, people were interacting with each other. Or people decided to try something that nobody's ever tried before. Just be you, have fun.
And nothing's coming through.
All right. I think Maria has got her answer.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Let me know if anybody else has a question about fun.
No other fun questions. Wait, there we go. She says thank you, and she asks that we must please tell you that she loves you lots.
Oh, I love you too, honey, and take care of yourself. Yes, I know that you didn't want that message, but this is how you take care of yourself. I'm always there for you. I'm always by your side. And you're doing great. You know that? You're doing great. Okay. Thank you so much, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you. She's got such a kind heart. Thank you. Who's next?
Kate's next. I'm not sure who you should channel though, because she's
okay. So she wants to make contact with her mom and dad. It seems like.
Yeah.
So I will get them on the line. So it might be a little bit more interpretive. With other words, I'm not going to channel them directly. I'm just going to check in with them and let you know what they say. Okay. So I will let you know. All right. Kat, can you give me your mom and dad's names, please? If possible. It just helps me a little bit. My glasses are terribly dirty. I can't get it clean. This was I was frying stuff.
There you go.
Okay.
You got it?
Maureen and Chris. Thank you so much. All right. They both passed over, I'm assuming. Is that correct? They both passed over?
Yes.
Okay. Maureen. Yes, Maureen is here. There seems to be a bit of pain there. And Chris, are you here? Chris is here. Okay, what's the question?
Okay. So the first thing she wants to know is if her mom and dad are at peace.
let's just say they're not 100% at peace, but it's not, it sounds so horrible to say that, but basically it's something we can sort out, possibly even right now. We can help them be at peace. If it's not something we can sort out right now, I would recommend a private session with me, so we can really help them, because usually they would reach out in a manner like this. That's what mediumship is about. It's about healing. It's a healing modality. It's not a circus. And we help the living and we help the dead. That's what we do. So Mom, what I'm sensing from Mom is there's some sort of pain or grief there. Something that something that feels unfinished that she wants to sort out.
She has a specific question about that, actually.
Yeah.
Okay, so she asks, is my mom upset that I was forced to make the decision to take her to hospital?
No. What I am getting, no, she doesn't blame you at all for anything. There wasn't really much else you could have done, to be honest. But she does regret that she didn't have more time to say what she wanted to say or to express how she feels. She wants you to know that she loves you very, very much. She's also showing me, just trying to understand, a child. So I don't know if it's you as a child, or perhaps siblings, or perhaps it's grandchildren, her grandchildren, or child. So I'm seeing a child that she's basically just that she's concerned about and wanting to hug and love. And there's this regret, like, sorry I couldn't stay here, sorry I couldn't be here and continue to help with this child. So I'm not clear on whether it is an actual child right now, or if it's you when you were younger. Let me just check that out. Let me just see. It might be symbolic, actually.
So she thinks the child's her?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so what I'm picking up is, yes, that feels right. So what I'm picking up is that there's a regret that she couldn't tell you her feelings. She couldn't tell you everything of her story, even that she has this regret that she couldn't, that there's some things that she kind of kept to herself and never expressed to you. And now, she regrets it. She always planned to tell you, but they never seemed to be the right time. But most of all, it basically centers around the fact that she knows she wasn't always perfect, and that some of the decisions that she made might not always have seemed like decisions that came from love, or decisions that came that it didn't always maybe seem like it was in your best interest, but it was. And she had her reasons for doing what she did, and she did make mistakes, but she tried to learn from them. She tried her best. So there's this thing about, she knows she wasn't perfect, but whatever she did because she loved you, out of love, even if it didn't seem that way. And I think she just really wanted you to know that it wasn't easy for her to communicate, to say kind of what her true feelings are, to open up. It wasn't easy for her to open up. And And she regrets not telling you more how precious you were to her and how precious you are to her still. And I'm also getting the sense that that you've been agonizing over this, whether, blaming yourself, and she doesn't want to see you in pain. And she's saying, don't blame yourself. This is just how things happened. This is just how things had to be. And it was her time. It's just that she didn't. The regret is more her own regret that she didn't get to say what was on her heart, and that she couldn't express herself. So that's what I'm picking up from her. Let me know if you have any follow-up questions there. And your dad, Chris, he seems okay. He seems in a better position, if I can put it that way, and he's more at peace, and his only concern as well is for you. And also for your mom, funny enough. So it does. I don't know. Were they split up? Did your dad pass away maybe a longer time ago? Because that's kind of the feeling I get. But I mean, I could be wrong. But that's kind of what I'm sensing.
Mom passed 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Dad passed last year.
Okay, so it's the other way around.
And she would like to tell her mom something. She says, tell her I don't blame her for anything. She was perfect.
Oh. Yeah, I think your mom's got serious case of mother's guilt. Okay, so dad was last year, Chris.
She wants to tell him that she misses him very much.
Yeah, so it's almost like this bittersweet, because he's with your mom and happy that they're more connected again, but also concerned for you. And I get the sense that he watches you a lot. And even your mom, since she's passed away, she's definitely been trying to communicate with you. So I don't know if you ever picked up on that, or maybe there were times where you thought you felt her, but you weren't sure, or you pushed it away or dismissed it as imagination, or maybe it did make you feel warm inside, just the thought. But she's been trying to guide you in some ways, and your dad is watching you a lot, but he's more of an observer. He's not really wanting to influence you much. He's just watching you because it gives him great pleasure to see you unfold and see you grow and see you being you. So he enjoys that a lot. And I do get the sense of pride. Very proud of you, proud of what you have accomplished. Even though it might, for some, it might not seem great, but he understands how hard it's been for you, or how much work and how much it took for you to get where you are now. So he admires that about you. And your mom, she loves you very, very much, and she says you are perfect, and sorry she couldn't always be, it's still there a little bit. Sorry she didn't always make exactly the right choices, but she tried her best. But she loves you very, very much, and I do get a huge sense of relief from her. And I'm just gonna have a bit of a chat with her and just ask. Okay, so Kate, if you want to be part of this, I'm just going to help her to kind of move on a little bit, so she can start focusing on her own healing. She's been very attached to you, so I feel like it's time for her to let go a little bit and to really just move on with her journey. It does not to say that you won't ever be able to be in contact with her. You know, she's in spirit, so she will always be contactable. But now that she knows that she doesn't have to worry, she can move on. So if you want to close your eyes and just imagine seeing your mom in front of you, and perhaps you can get a sense of her moving on. And I always see this as a sort of, it's like a doorway. It's kind of a bluish light. It's what we call the blue hospital. So she's ready to go through that portal to that dimension, if you like. It's kind of a dimensional place where spirits receive healing and go. After that, they go to the life between lives and then make decisions about their own lives and so on. So she's ready to move on. Okay, Maureen, are you ready? So, Kate, if you feel like it, you can walk her to the door, whatever that looks like for you. If you feel like you're using your imagination, you're doing it right. It's not your imagination. Don't dismiss it. Okay, let's walk her to the door. And your dad's going with her. They're going together. So they'll still be around. They're not permanently gone. They're just moving to the next phase. All right. And she's struggling to let go. Dad is almost like wanting to pull her through the door, like, come, let's go. It's all good. Don't worry. She'll be fine. And she's like the mom who doesn't want to let go. So just if you could just tell her in your own way that it's okay and that you won't forget her. Whatever you want to tell her right now, Kate, just go ahead and tell her. She will hear you. Just last embraces and hugs. Okay, she's ready. There we go. Thank you. Oh, there we go. She's still here. We'll still be able to get in touch. Here we go. All right, and there we go. Now they are at peace, definitely. Thank you, Kate, for allowing us all to be part of this. Thank you for being an avatar and allowing everyone to witness your beautiful story here. Okay, yeah, there we go. Thank you. All right. Yeah, she's much happier now. There we go. There we go. All right, thank you.
Right.
Who's next?
Charisse.
Charisse.
She wants to connect with her guides.
Okay. All right. Let's see who of Charisse's guides want to come through. Oh.
Kate says thank you.
You're welcome, Kate. You're very, very welcome. Who wants to come through for Charisse? Anthony, could you maybe do a clearing on me? Sure. My husband does Reiki. Anyone who needs Reiki. It's just so much quicker for him to clear me quickly while I'm live. Thank you, my love. Okay. Who wants to come through for Charisse? Okay, Charisse. Archangel Gabriel is here. He wants to chat with you. Okay. Thank you, Archangel Gabriel, for wanting to come through again. So there are some other guides. You know, you do have your own personal guides, and Archangel Gabriel is sort of guides many. But he definitely takes more, you know, walks a road with some of us more. Like some angels walk certain roads with certain people, and it's because he's the archangel of communication, spreading the word, spreading the message, so to speak. So, and that is part of who you are. You're part of spreading the message and communicating. So that is why it's coming through. And he's saying it's because you have questions about career, or perhaps that lines up with your purpose. So that's why he's coming through. He, she, angel. Oh, sorry, I ate so much Archangel Gabriel. I feel like there's not enough space almost. Okay. All right. The human transmitter is ready for you, Archangel Gabriel. You can come through and speak to Cherise. Hello, everybody.
Hi.
Thank you so much for having me back again.
Thank you for joining us. Yeah.
You're welcome. I'm always happy to be here.
Okay, so Cherise says, guidance with my career, more specifically the position I'm currently in. That's it. You need help with.
The questions you're asking yourself: can I push myself further? Can I do better? I feel stuck. So, first of all, know that you're where you're supposed to be for now. Yes, you certainly can ask for more. You certainly can have more. But just hang in there and stay positive. That's the important thing. Staying positive, do your job to the best of your ability. And when you are doing your thing, do your thing with joy. We're not talking about the politics and all that stuff. When you are your creative self and you are doing what you're supposed to do it with joy. Don't let all the other things get to you, but you already know that. So just keep doing that. People are noticing, and the right people are noticing, and just keep that positive attitude. And when you feel moved to do something, do it. If you feel moved to say something to someone, like a manager or something, if you feel moved to suggest something, do it. Trust yourself. So there is definitely space for you to move. There's definitely room to grow. But you have to, in a way, prove yourself. Because, as you know, people underestimate you. So you've got to show them who you are. You've got to show them what you're capable of. You actually have to show them that you're a leader. And that's what they're having a difficult time with right now. They're having a difficult time with that. They don't see how you can fulfill those roles, the ones that you would be good for. So you've got to, and yes, it's been the story of your life. You've had to prove yourself so many times. But it's okay. It's part of healing people. They need to learn this. They need to learn not to underestimate people. They need to learn that there's so much more to you than what they see. And this is the thing. You've got to show it to them. You've got to show them that, you've got grit. You've got to show them how tough you are. And it's not about faking it. It's about your true toughness. You are tough. Tough in a good way. Things don't get you down so easily. You know what works and what doesn't. And you've just got to show them that confidence. And it's not about being cocky. It's just about being confidently you and speaking up. Because that is when they're going to start paying attention. That's when they're going to start realizing that you're a leader. You're not just a puppet. Okay? They do want to know that you can follow instructions, for sure, definitely. But they also want to see that leadership. They're not looking for it right now because They can't see it, and you've got to show it to them. And yes, the other side is that you're procrastinating with your personal stuff, your real mission, the real work you want to do. You're procrastinating. And I want to ask you, what are you waiting for? What are you waiting for? Do it one step at a time, one small step at a time. You don't have to be a big superstar right now. You just have to take the next step. Do another turn. Move forward. Okay? So just get started. Even if you just do 1% today, it's time for you to start speaking to people. Put your voice out on the airwaves. Voice, speaking, not just video, speaking. You've got to tell people. You have got so much to teach them. You've got so much hope. And only when you start speaking and you start putting yourself out there in that way, will you start, and where you just shine as being you, you're going to start attracting the clients and the events that you want to attract. But you've got to do it. You've got to show your skills. So just like you have to in your current position at work, you have to prove yourself. In the same way, you've got to prove yourself in your true passion. You've got to get on with it. And there's no such thing as perfect timing. There's no such thing as, everything has to be perfect before you get started. You just have to start. Doesn't matter if you make a mess in the beginning. It won't be a mess. You just have to follow it. You just have to do it. You just have to follow your excitement. And you've got to get to that place where, you've done it. You've already done this. You just have to get back up and do it. And that is to be you and to show your true self and just to speak about what you know. That's it. Like you're speaking to your friends, like you're helping people. Those people that come to you for help, this is a chance for you to put your energy where it will be appreciated, where it will be valued, and not wasted on those that don't truly value it and who take advantage of you. This is your time to shine. Step into that role. You don't have to worry about this might happen, that might happen. No. Just move forward. You can do it.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Let's see anything coming back from her. But while we have you here, perhaps you can answer some questions for the collective.
Yes. Wasima has a question.
Wasima.
I can answer Wasima's question.
Okay. Wasima wanted to channel her higher self.
I can answer Wasima's question.
She hasn't asked a question.
Oh, okay. All right, that's fine. What questions do you have?
Well, no one's asked any questions, but I've got two topics on my mind, which I would like to understand. And it's got to do with energy and consciousness. So one and the same in my mind. But so the first question is this. Oh, wait, we got Cherise saying something quick. She says, thank you. This is for, sorry, I'm just going to read what she's saying here. I don't know what this means. This is for Baba Vanga. I don't know who that is. Is there any predictions she hasn't mentioned that she would like to share with us? Any predictions Baba would like to clarify with us? I think she wants to
Is this a
Someone
specific
else.
guide?
Yes. Okay. Okay, so I'm not sure what to do now.
That's okay. What does she want to ask Papa Vanga?
Is there any prediction she hasn't mentioned that she would like to share with us?
Okay, this is still Archangel Gabriel. I have connected with Baba Vanga. I do want to warn you to be very careful of this spirit. Even though yes, be wary of predictions, because nothing is set in stone. Things can change. Please be aware of this, Cherise. And Baba Vanga's got a good heart, but there is some woundedness there. And just be very wary that when you are listening to her, that you are checking with your higher self everything that's coming back. Just double check everything, because sometimes some of her filters come through and her woundedness come through, and then that might be misguided information. It's not that she's bad or evil, but there is she's misguided herself about certain things, if that makes sense. So just be careful. I'm not saying don't communicate with this spirit, because she does have wisdom and there is a beautiful connection there as well. And perhaps you can even help her with her woundedness, because she actually does need help. And you are capable of doing this. You know what to do. Predictions. Here's a prediction for the collective. The prediction is that for those of you who haven't felt it and haven't felt the change, haven't felt how things are changing, some of you are experiencing that you physically feel like you are changing, your bodies are changing. And I want to tell you that, yes, this is happening. This is happening. Your bodies are changing as the whole consciousness is starting to, as the veils are being lifted and there's more and more truths coming out. You are also starting to change, just as the earth is starting to change. So all of the transformation is not just in the spiritual realm. It's happening all the different layers, including the physical realm. So for those of you that are doing the work and really allowing yourself to grow and working on your consciousness, it has a physical effect. Your DNA is changing, and this is a good thing. You want this to happen because it's the next phase of evolution. So this is starting to happen. And of course, it doesn't necessarily happen at an extremely fast rate. However, I do also want to say that some people transform faster than others in all the ways, including physical. And some people are slower than others. And it's not that anyone's better or worse or, anything like that. It's just that each soul's on their own journey and are ready when they're ready. And it's the limitations and the blockages that people put in themselves that slow them down, really. And I also want to let you know that many of you are going to live for much, much longer than your forefathers lived, than your parents or your grandparents lived. This might not be true for every single one of you. Some of you will prefer or have planned to exit before all these major changes happen. But many of you are going to live for a very long time. So I hope that encourages you to grow, to look after your vessel, and to take seriously this journey of self-discovery and awareness.
Okay, thank you. So I'm just going to pick the questions that are actually more generic. I see a lot of people asking personal questions now. Okay, so here's one. They want to know, are mental illnesses and allergies karmic, and are they all curable?
Most mental illnesses are illnesses of the soul. Truly. This is such a good question. Thank you for this great question. Your emotions are directly linked to your soul. As has been said before by many here, that it has been the plan of those in power to keep people under control, to control people's emotions so that they can control the people. And they usually do it with fear tactics, whether it's political, whether it's medical, whether it's religious, but fear is often used. But they also use that addiction. And I want to make it very clear that you have to be very aware of what you watch and what media you expose yourself to. This is important. Yes, it's absolutely great to have fun, and you should do that, but you should be aware. You should be aware of what you allow in and what is happening to your emotions when you watch certain things or play certain things. If it's lighthearted and fun, if it's your excitement, that's all great. But there are some ways in which they just keep you controlled. So in order to move on from that, it is important that you are aware and conscious of what you choose to watch and experience in media, whether it's social media, whether it's videos, whether it's Netflix, whether it's reading the newspaper every day. There's still people that read the newspaper every day. There's still people that watch the news every day. And those are some of the biggest traps. Then, of course, there's the other side where they pull you into these celebrity lives. When you are trying to kind of imagine yourself being another person, they are pulling you away from your purpose. They're pulling you away from that. So this is kind of a long-winded way to get around to answering a question about mental illness. So media and religion and medicine, and I'm not saying all of it is bad. Please understand me. It's not about it all being bad. There's a lot of truths in there too. But it's often used to control. And just the whole way that society has been structured is in such a way that it often makes people feel bad about who they are, about who they truly are. And of course, then there are the karmic patterns. There are those patterns that play out and happen repeatedly throughout lifetimes. And those are most definitely ones that can be healed. Most mental illnesses. And yes, it is a 99.9% that we're talking about here are completely curable by removing the blockages and the pain and doing the right kind of work, doing the karmic clearing. Absolutely possible. And in terms of diseases, yes, most of them can be cured in this way as well. The majority of them. Sometimes certain things are chosen for a lifetime because they act as a catalyst so that the soul can learn specific things. And do understand that many souls come to this place, and it's not only human souls. Many souls, animal, plant, rock, extraterrestrial, you name it, because they want to be put through the test. They want to go through difficult things so that it can act like a catalyst, so they can learn certain things. People move forward, societies move forward when it's put under pressure. Now, there's good ways to create that pressure, and there's bad ways to create that pressure. But the point is those kinds of pressures and those kinds of things happen to act as a way to help you think creatively, to push yourself. When if you're just complacent, you're not going to push yourself. If people didn't want electricity, they never would have tried to figure out how to create electricity. If they weren't suffering from cold and whatever else, they wouldn't have done that. If certain diseases didn't come about, they wouldn't have been able to find the cures. And of course, there are cures for a lot of things that they're not sharing. But the point that I'm making is that if there's no challenges, then there's no reason to create, progress, move forward, grow. So sometimes, and quite often, these are lessons to help a soul to move to where they need to be, or to help them to remember things about themselves. And sometimes people are misdiagnosed, not only with physical diseases, but mental illnesses. Sometimes somebody hears voices and they are told that they're schizophrenic, but truly they're channeling. And maybe not some of the voices they're listening to are not good voices to listen to. But the point is that with the right help and the right direction and right healing, that person can flourish and learn to use their gifts. So that is just one example of people being misdiagnosed. It's just part of that system. And with the physical illnesses, some of those illnesses are brought about, most of the illnesses are brought about by some kind of karmic pattern or blockage. Some of it's brought forward by conditioning. But let me tell you this, you are in charge of your DNA. You are in charge of what you activate in your DNA. So if you're constantly worrying and suppressing emotions, all the things that you know you shouldn't be doing, it will manifest as dis-ease. If you have PTSD or you have depression or whatever, and you're not looking after that, you're not healing, you're not asking for help, it's going to result in physical illness or mental illness. So it is important to do the self-work and to yes, clear the blockages, whichever modality or way you want to do it.
We've got to follow up. So even if your soul has chosen to suffer, is it possible to end that illness faster than intended?
Definitely. Absolutely. You see, this is why awareness is so important. If you become aware and you start understanding that everything is a lesson, everything, then you end your suffering much sooner, because you understand that there's a lesson. There's an acceptance in the lesson, and there's a wanting to learn the lesson so that you can move forward. So as soon as you know what the lesson is and you accept it, you can immediately let go. This is possible. Many who are self-aware and do self-work regularly do this on a daily basis. They see the lesson, they know what it is. Oh, I got the lesson. Thank you. I don't need that pain anymore. Can let it go. It can be that simple. Some people need more help. Some people need to have someone to help them to clear those blockages. That's fine too. Whichever method you use, being aware and understanding and accepting, being in acceptance of what's happening, so that you can go, okay, I understand. I'm in a lesson now. This isn't fun, but let's change it. You can be proactive. You can let go of the suffering once you know what it's there for. You don't have to hold on to it. You see, there's this thing, it's this kind of disease almost, and this is one of the ways in which people are kept under control. This disease of victimhood. That victimhood keeps people in negative thinking. They're blaming everybody else. My mother did this to me. My boss said that. I never had any opportunities. I grew up poor. I have this disease. You know, I'm whatever the excuse is. But those people that are not looking at, well, how can I change what I'm attracting to myself? How can I change? How can I become more happy? How can I change this around and start using positive thoughts and positive words and then positive actions? But see, many people aren't even aware that they're victims. They aren't even aware that they're negative. If you ask them, they'll say, I'm a positive person. But you hear them complaining all the time. They're not even aware. So awareness is incredibly important. And gratitude for the lessons. Acceptance and gratitude. Because that will help you move through it much faster. Definitely.
Great, thank you. Do you have a parting message for the collective?
I want to tell you that so many of you think that things are so much harder. You think things are really hard. And yes, recognizing where you're standing and what you're looking at. You're standing over there, down there, and you're just seeing big mountains and hills. You're not climbing on top of the mountain and seeing the bigger picture, seeing the view. Okay? I want to tell you that things are not as dire or as hard as you think they are. So many of you think that you're suffering. And yes, to a certain degree, of course you are. But you don't have to suffer. You can let go of it. You don't have to hold on to that suffering. It's not necessary. Climb up on the mountain. Yes, it's a little bit of effort to climb up the mountain. But when you climb up, you can see the view. And the view is going to motivate you. And it's going to encourage you to keep going. And it's going to encourage you to reach for that goal. Where when you're down below in the valley, you can't see that goal. And then you get demotivated because you think, what's the point? I'm just struggling along, never going to get anywhere. That's that negative self-talk, right? So I want to tell you that communication with yourself is even more important than communicating with other people. Because when you learn to communicate with yourself and tell yourself and talk to yourself about what is going on, encourage yourself, motivate yourself, with help, of course. You're never alone. Your higher self is with you. Okay? Talk to your ego. Talk to your higher self. When you are able to communicate with yourself and have a positive relationship with yourself, have a positive dialogue with yourself, it will be so much easier for you to go through life and to communicate with others and to communicate from the heart. So communicate through the heart to yourself as well. And yes, this will make life easier. And go through the effort. Take some action sometimes. Take some action. Take the action you need to take. Whether it is to go and clear that blockage, or whether it is to start writing that book you've dreamed about writing, or whether it is to, I don't know, go on vacation. Whatever it is, start making plans and do it. Take action. And it all starts with how you talk to yourself, how you view yourself, how you treat yourself. Stop complaining about how others are treating you. They're not going to treat you any better if you don't treat yourself better. Very important. Talk to yourself the way you wish they would talk to you.
Great. Thank you very much. Thank you for joining us tonight again.
Thank you so much, everybody. Thank you, Anthony. Thank you, everybody that came and joined. I look forward to chatting with you again. Thank you, Archangel Gabriel, for coming through. And thank you to all the spirits and guides and wonderful beings that came through tonight as well. Thank you so much. Thank you, everybody. I'm ready to go climb into bed. And you're so welcome. Thank you so much, you guys. You guys are awesome. I love all of you. Take care of yourself and in all the best ways.
Everyone.
Love you lots. Bye-bye.